welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca. Today I am doing my June TBR. And so a TBR is what I am planning on reading for the month of June, my to be read. And so I do want to put a little something in here really quick just so that you guys understand where I'm coming from and what my channel is about. My channel and my platform is all about the books. It's all about the escape from the world and the hell that is going on around us, and the stress and anxiety and panic, and me being a person that lives and deals with panic and stress disorder and anxiety disorder. I go to books as an outlet to kind of calm myself down and to get away from what is happening in the real world. And that's why I tend to stick with fantasy, and I go towards the young adult fantasy more because they're the things that they are dealing with is just seems a little bit less for me. It's less stress. I mean, yeah, there's angst, there's love, there's romance, there's, you know, this wonderful thing going on in this world or whatever. And I use that to separate what is going on in the real world versus what I need to kind of draw myself into to give myself that break. I do believe that it's very important that people's voices be heard. I do believe that no one should be treated poorly, whether that is based on the color of your skin or the badge on your uniform. I believe that every individual should be based upon their personality and what kind of human being that person is. And that is all I'm going to say on that subject. I don't want this platform to become my preaching ground or anything like that. I want this strictly to just be an enjoyable site to talk about the books that I'm totally loving or not loving so much. And you can either love it or hate it. That's your opinion. You are totally entitled to either agree with it or disagree with it. I have no problem with that. I know the month is already pretty much half over, and I'm just starting reading, and that's just because of so much anxiety and so much thinking that I need to be doing this or I need to be doing that or I need to be reading this or reading that, and I just kind of fell into a bottomless pit of panic and anxiety, and I didn't do anything. I was just surviving. And so I finally put it in my head that, you know, I'm just gonna read what I feel like reading. I'm a mood reader. I'm going to read what I feel like reading at the moment. These books I may or may not read this month. I'm just kind of throwing some books out there that I think would be good for me to read this month, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, let's get into it. The first book that I am reading is The Enchantment of Ravens, and this is by Margaret Rogerson. I have already started reading this book. I'm really liking it. It's got all of the great little romantic elements and angst and fantasy type elements that I just love and crave. It has all of it in this book, and I just love the writing style and everything of it. And so yeah, we'll see how it goes. So there's that one. The next book that I am looking at wanting to read is Enchanté, and this one is by Greta Trellis. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. I don't really remember a lot about this book. I just know that it's like in the 1800s. It's about it's set in France. It's set during like a revolution, and I believe the magic is banned, or I can't remember exactly what. It's the magic is forbidden, and so that's all I know about it. And I've heard a lot of other booktubers talk about it before. I've forgotten the synopsis of it and what it's about. I just know that it sounded really good, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I hope that it's something that still piques my interest when I get around to reading it, and that I enjoy reading it. So I'll let you know. The next book is Aurora Rising, and this is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is a sci-fi fantasy. I I'm not sure exactly what it's about. I just know that it's a sci-fi fantasy. It's written by two really good authors. I've heard a lot of really good things about this book. I can't tell you what the synopsis is at this moment because, like I said, my brain is an empty, cavernous hole. So I just know that the cover looks really good. So like, if the cover's good, then the book is really good, you know, and if other booktubers are talking about it and giving it good ratings, then it's definitely worth picking up. So anyhow, I'm looking forward to this. And, you know, I don't really read a lot of sci-fi books, or sci-fi fantasy books. So I'm looking forward to getting into this one and seeing if it's something that I, you know, want to delve into deeper in that kind of genre. The next book is its sequel, and this is Aurora Burning, and it's by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And I just picked this one up the other day from Walmart. You can still see I haven't pulled the sticker off completely. Gotta love how it leaves that stupid sticker residue on there. However, like I said, I don't know anything about it. It just has gotten so many great reviews, and I'm looking forward to reading it. So hopefully I'll enjoy the first book really immensely to the point where I'm like, oh, I gotta pick up the second book. So that's why I got the second book already, so I don't have to stop and wait. I can just read right through. Now, what I want to do is I want to get caught up on some of the books that I started reading, like the first book in the series. And I really enjoyed the first book in these, and so I want to continue with their series or trilogy or whatever you want to call it. And the first one is it's Dragon Shadow, and it's by L. Catherine White, and this is book 2, and then book 3 is Flamebringer by L. Catherine White. And this is book 2 and book 3 of the book that I read, Heartstone, and I really enjoyed that first book. And it's like a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, and there's dragons. I mean, you can't suck me into a book any more than just saying Pride and Prejudice and dragons. I'm there. I'm all about it. So this is book 2 and book 3. I got them in the mail a couple months ago. However, I was trying to finish reading my Cassandra Clare books and reading the Kira Cass books. So now I'm wanting to take a step back, go back to the books that I really enjoyed reading and finish their stories. So that is these two. Next 2 books is with the Grishaverse, and I read the first book, which was Bone and Shadow, and it's by Leigh Bardugo. So this is book 2, it's Siege and Storm. And then you have book 3, which is Ruin and Rising. And they are coming out with a Netflix adaptation to this series. I'm not sure. I know Six of Crows is in the Grishaverse, but it's its own story. So I'm not sure if the Netflix version is going to have anything to do with Six of Crows, or if it's just going to be this trilogy. However, I really enjoyed the first book. I'm not sure why I didn't pick up these ones. I think I was just really excited about other books that I had gotten, and kind of jumped into those books and got into those books and just kind of put these off. So I'm really hoping to get back to these ones because I really enjoyed that first book. Again, it was one of those, it was a really easy read. I read it in one sitting. And so I'm thinking that these two will hopefully be the same. And I'm hoping that, you know, because it was a couple months ago that I actually read the first book, that I'll actually remember enough of it that it'll be enjoyable to get into book 2 and book 3. Last but not least is The Kingdom of Copper, and this is by S.A. Chakraborty. And this is book 2. The first book was City of Brass, so this is the second book. And I absolutely loved the first book. 100%, one of my top favorite books this year. It did start out slow. I did have to kind of build up into the book because it had a lot of politic type story building into it. But oh my gosh, it got so good so fast. Like once you got to a certain point, it was just like, wow, this is amazing. However, I didn't have the second book at that time, and so I just kind of put it on the back burner. I did get the second book, and then at that point I was reading other books, didn't get around to it. So I'm hoping that I can get to this one before the end of the month. And I know we only have like 2.5 weeks left of this month as of when I'm filming this. So I'm really hoping that I can buckle down and get some really good books read, especially these ones that I'm finishing their storyline from reading their first book, because I already know that I love the first book. So I'm looking forward to finishing out the series that they have. I know they're getting ready to come out with the third book, so I'm looking forward to getting the third book, but I know I have to read the second one before I can actually read the third one. But I did get the book box. I can't remember what book box I got it from. I think it was LitJoy Crate, if I'm not mistaken, that had a box solely based on this universe and the third book coming out. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I gotta read this one so I can keep going on and continue reading. That is my June TBR, so to speak. I didn't want to not do a TBR because I feel like if I don't do a TBR, then I'm not going to read at all, just because, like, you know, it's like, oh, the month's already half over, you know, I'll just plan for next month. But I don't want to. I want to get back into reading. I love reading. I enjoy it. And so yeah, I'm gonna go back into myself and the things that I feel secure with and love, and yeah, take you guys along with me if you so choose. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying healthy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.